Alright everybody, in this video we're going to react to one of my this is probably one of my first YouTube videos where I'm trying to convince everybody that raw milk heals ulcerative colitis, IBS, Crohn's, and all sorts of other digestive issues. And it's based off of the book The Raw Milk Cure, which I've had many people follow and not get better. And it's difficult watching these old videos. This is a really small shirt. Like, this shirt is like the only size they had, and I wanted it for the video. This shirt is like a woman's small, and I still look like a rail. Like, I look so skinny. These pants are tiny. This is like a large t-shirt now. I think I was like 150 pounds in this, and I was on a very strict diet. I'd been on a strict diet for a very long time. Now I eat whatever I want, and I weigh like 175 pounds now, maybe. And when I'm like really working out and doing what I should be, I think I'm around. I could get up to 200 quite easily. But let's watch and see what I have to say. Oh, this is difficult. I am so skinny.
Talk about a book that's proof that raw milk and raw dairy heals chronic, incurable, so-called incurable diseases. And raw dairy was a big part of me healing my incurable.
The audio quality is just terrible. It's driving me nuts.
Chronic Crohn's disease, leaky gut, and candida. That's without dairy. I almost don't think I would.
That haircut. Oh my god. I think I tried to cut it myself or something stupid.
I would have got better without raw dairy from pasture-raised animals, from nice establishments like this. Yeah, I feel like I'm 100% grass-fed. This is North Country Creamery.
Oh my god, I want to shoot myself.
Delicious cheese. They make very good yogurt. They have this maple syrup yogurt that's super good. It's just yogurt and maple syrup, no added sugars. It's delicious. Okay, so guys, I'm going to share this book with you. It's called The Milk Diet, A Remedy for Chronic Disease. And pretty much what this book is so there's this doctor, and his name was called Dr. Porter, the Porter method. And he treated at least 18,000 patients over his 40-year career with just putting them on bed rest and giving them raw milk a bunch of times a day. Like a gallon and a half a day. And he healed all sorts of things, from heart disease, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, anemia, rheumatoid arthritis, chronic inflammation, disorders of the digestive tract, indigestion, acidity, ulcerations, stomach and intestines problems, constipation, colitis, asthma, and allergies, and all sorts of other fun things. Yeah, guys, so raw milk is the healthiest food on earth, and raw dairy is the healthiest food on earth. It has every single vitamin and mineral essential to life, and it's extremely easy to digest. And it also fights infection. It comes with antibodies and white blood cells and all sorts of great things. There's no food that comes close to it in nutritional value. Just look at this. In the whole animal kingdom, we have this vast array of.
Okay, I don't know where to start. It is I am so skinny. It is so painful to watch this. So what's happening here is, it's so painful to watch this. So this book promises these amazing results, and so shortly after this, I went and I worked on a raw dairy farm, and I was drinking like farm fresh milk straight from the udder, just about. Like, we would milk it, it would go straight into a jar. The jar would be warm, and I literally worked there for about a month and a half, and I worked on a different farm for another month. I was drinking this stuff for 2 months straight, and I still couldn't tolerate other foods just because I was a complete psycho about other foods. Building up these food phobias. And I've had lots of people, there's lots of people working with this time who can't even touch raw milk, And it's because they're psychos about foods. And but now but now using German New Medicine, they can tolerate pasteurized dairy. They can tolerate anything. They can go to McDonald's. They can go to fast foods. They can have pizza. They can eat candy. I agree, they should probably eat healthy foods, and raw milk is one of the easiest to digest foods, but this is not possible for the vast majority of my students or people on earth, because raw milk is hard to get your hands on. It's, in most states it's illegal for some stupid reason. I don't know why. And I lived in a village in Ukraine for about a year, and our next door neighbor had a cow. I got fresh milk from my next door neighbor every single day for a whole entire year. Me and my wife were drinking it, and we were still having digestive issues. Like, they were better than they were before, but we weren't able to eat like a normal person. We weren't able to do that until we stopped being psychos about the foods that we were eating. And the best way to do that is just have general knowledge on what is actually happening in the body. Because I can be OCD like this guy right here, like my old self here, but I didn't understand that you can see like the indigestible anger in the way that I talk. There's probably many things I was angry about in this video. I could not get the sound to work correctly. I was this, like, I bought all this lighting gear. The noise, I could hear people walking upstairs. I could hear the cars driving by the house, and that was getting picked up on the microphone. So that was probably why I was angry. But oy. All right, let's keep watching and see what I have to say.
Digestive tracts, and they're all designed very differently, from very simple to very complex, and they all thrive on dairy. All these animals at one point in time, lived on dairy in their infant lives, when they were at their weakest point in their life. In their most vulnerable point in their life, they lived on dairy. That is how powerful this food is. It is like a blood transfusion from the cow or from the goat, whatever animal you're getting it from. It is such an amazing, awesome food, and this book goes into great detail of all the great beneficial properties of milk. And I went on this diet myself, and I felt a lot better, but it did not cure my Crohn's disease, because this book was written before the era of antibiotics. And antibiotics create a fungal infection in your gut that the world has never seen until these past few years. And so you have to take some extra steps, extra measures to kill that infection. Milk is a great infection fighting tool, but it's just not strong enough to kill a candida infection. But if you like it, so you get yogurt from the grocery store. It has an acidity of, 6 or 7. The bad guys can handle that. You ferment that yogurt for 24 hours, it drops the acidity down to a 3 or a 4. The bad guys have a very hard time dealing with that. The population of the lactobacillus.
Guys, I'm dying. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is painful. All right, so in German New Medicine, we do not recognize the immune system. We do not recognize infection. The bacteria and fungi are part of the healing phase. So these gut issues are caused by a conflict shock, a stressful event that catches us off guard. And everyone with digestive issues, they're going to have a ring, and concentric rings in their brain in a very specific location in the brainstem. Whatever organ is affected, there'll be a ring in a very specific location. 100% of the time, I've worked with people and seen their brain CT scans, and I often go, hey, do not show me your brain CT scans. Tell me your symptoms, and I'm going to try to guess where your rings are. And they're there every single time. It is absolutely amazing. So for intestinal issues, the body is trying to digest this hard to digest thing in your life. The body's stupid. It tries to digest things that aren't in your gut. That's just how it works. And so it develops extra gut cells. You'll see this on your medical reports as polyps, thickening of the cell wall. intestinal wall, stuff like that. But when this conflict gets resolved, you no longer have to digest this hard to digest thing in your life. Your body gets rid of these extra gut cells, and there's blood, mucus, and pain because you're removing these physical cells. So at this point, I had perfected disinfecting. I knew everything that would kill candida in just one drop. One drop of oregano oil, essential oil, would kill any infection, all bad bacteria and fungi. I knew the best probiotics to take, whether it was a food or a capsule, and it just was not working. There's people who would see a little bit of result and then relapse. They would have to be on a strict dietary plan, or they would relapse, or it just wasn't working. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is eating antibiotics like it's candy, and they're eating, and they just don't take any probiotics, and they're absolutely fine. So it's not about reculturing your gut. Your brain has the power to do that. If you study terrain theory, you'll find that these so-called bad bacteria and fungi originate from your own cells, and your brain controls your cells. So that's how that works. So
skyrocketed. So now instead of sending in a little army, you're sending in a huge army. So the odds get put in the numbers get put in your favor.
It's a good analogy.
More about the ways Mother Nature fights infection, go check out this video right here. I'll tell you all about how Mother Nature fights infection.
That's still a good video, that video I'm referencing. But, so when we fight infection, essentially what we're doing is we're reducing our healing symptoms because there's less bacteria and fungi removing cells, so it reduces symptoms.
But yeah, guys, this is a great book. I highly recommend it. Raw milk. If you're on the fence about raw milk, stop wasting your time drinking pasteurized milk. You're just making yourself sick. Look at this picture right here. When we leave pasteurized milk out, it molds because it has no protection from mold because everything's dead. Everything's dead. It's like it's totally moronic to pasteurize milk because the cow is giving you everything that it needs. It's like, hey, I already made an immune system for you. You don't have to train the troops. You don't have to assemble the troops. I already made this all for you. And it's
yeah, it is kind of dumb to pasteurize milk, but I get it from a business standpoint because raw milk. I mean, I kind of stopped buying raw milk just because it was the taste was just so inconsistent, at least in Ukraine, because like some days it was good and some days it tasted like the cow stuck their foot in the bucket or something. Like it was just undrinkable, and I'd have to drink it fast, otherwise it would go sour and it wouldn't taste good. So I've been drinking a lot of pasteurized milk this year, and guess what? I'm still alive and I still feel fine. The big thing that we have to take into account with this raw milk cure is these doctors would call for like a month or two of bed rest while you're doing this. So you're pretty much wiping the slate clean of whichever conflicts you might be dealing with. So think about what you got going on here. So you have, let's say you get diagnosed with something in a city and the doctor's like, you're going to die, I don't know how to help you. Instead, you get this guy, Dr. Porter. He goes, oh yeah, I know how to fix you. That's easy. Just sit down, you'll be okay. Right then and there, like that is a huge, like psychological relief for anybody. It's like, oh God, I'm not going to die anymore. This guy is like a prodigy. I'm in good hands. And then you have to take off like a month or two of work. You don't have cell phones. You don't have TVs. You don't have radios. You don't have computers. So you don't have anything from the outside world stimulating you to be like stressed out. And then all day you're too busy drinking and peeing and sleeping. Because you have to drink 1.5 gallons of milk, you have to literally drink a cup of milk every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes while you're awake, you're drinking a cup of milk and peeing a lot. And So you really don't have time to think about anything. You really don't have time to do anything else. They have you like in this very easy to follow routine, and life was a lot simpler back then. People were better at handling their conflicts back then, and the people would, I would imagine some of these cases would be due to nutritional deficiencies because their diets really were that bad that long ago. Depending on who you were, that was a small part of it. But for the most part, it's just being something hard to digest in your life was, causing these gut issues, and people just needed time to forget about them at this raw milk sanatorium, and give their body some extra nutrients. And raw milk is a great food for that. It is very, very, very easy to digest, but it will never cure gut disease because it's a psychological. The root cause is psychological. It's experiencing something as hard to digest.
It's like I'm giving it to you, and then you like rip it in half just so that you can remake it again. It's putting your body through a ton of work. It doesn't need to be. It makes absolutely no sense. Why would you destroy something perfectly fine that everyone's getting? We've never, like, what animals pasteurize milk? And no, we're the only ones. It's stupid, and we've only been doing it in the past 100 years. And if you want to learn more about like why that happened, read the book the Untold Story of Milk by Ron Smith. It's a very good book, and it kind of explains why we started pasteurizing milk. But that's beyond the scope of this video. Drink your raw milk. It's worth the extra few dollars or whatever, and it's worth the hassle, depending on what state you're in. And yeah, so guys, this video's done. Cheers to your raw milk. Prove you that and raw cheese is really easy to get, guys. Raw cheese is really to get no matter what state you're in. So at the very least, you should be consuming raw cheese. And what else do I need to tell you guys? I need to tell you to like and subscribe to the channel, because you're going to learn more about other nutritious foods and how awesome raw milk is, and other foods you can use to heal your gut disease. And if you have any questions about anything, let me know. Because, yeah, let me know in the comments, because I'll answer them, and maybe I'll make a video out of them to help you guys out. Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. And if you're super 6 hours of videos, and it tells you there's like no more questions to be asked, like you'll.
All right, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. But if you do want my help healing your gut issues, enroll in the Rapid Gut Healing Program. It comes with over 20 hours of videos, and but the most value you're going to get out of it is from the Facebook support group, where I answer your questions every single day. We also have two other coaches. We have a third coach coming on pretty soon, and yeah, we answer your questions every single day, 3 or 4 times a week. We're doing live Q&As, answering all your questions. I think on my last live Q&A, I think I had like 2 or 3 people there, so there's like everyone got a lot of good one-on-one time. And yeah, guys, look, I've already tried everything you've already, like, you plan on trying, and if I haven't tried it myself, I've seen somebody else do it. There's not anybody with more experience than me when it comes to gut health issues, and German New Medicine is the real deal. You can learn it yourself on learninggnm.com and through my free videos. I also have a free 30-day program you can watch down below. You can get better with that if you're not ready to buy my Rapid Gut Healing Program. It's only $497 or 6 easy payments of $97. And yeah, I know that might sound like a lot, but if you go anywhere else, you're going to pay $1,000, even maybe a couple $100 for a coaching session, and then they're going to prescribe hundreds of dollars of supplements that are just not necessary and don't do anything. They're going to create food phobias. I've seen it all, guys, and I want to save you from that nightmare. I want to help you guys get back, build a healthy body, be able to go out with your friends, go out on dates again, go out with your family, whatever it is that you want. I want to help you get your life back, be able to enjoy foods again. And I can hold your hand through that process inside the Rapid Gut Healing Program. But hit the like and subscribe button, leave a comment down below. What other videos would you like me to review? I'm Mike the Heal Your Gut Guy. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.